This is a vlog about work industries. Still waiting to find out why days ago, and I asked YouTube about this, and it takes a screenshot of the vlogs I'm talking about, why the vlog that I titled Pro Child Slavery Filipinos, Drunken Workaholic Japanese, and Canada's Addict Economy. They haven't explain why. I assume just by the title, and nobody was available to screen a video and watch it and find out if everything's okay with it, which they could do, and find out, it had some useful points and arguments, and it's not just about, the shockingness of the title. But in the title, I based it on current events in my life or in the news. For example, that the Japanese government is promoting more of their young workers to drink and therefore be dependent, good little worker bee addicts, and that's hard to respect. And when it comes to Canada, well, you can't trust the majority of MPs, and that includes the ones that are MDs, right, that are medical doctors that promote. Like, if you go a place where there's addicts, where I go sometimes have meals, and you read what's on the wall, you can tell they want to not solve, our cultures doesn't want to solve these problems that weren't there in this way a couple of generations ago, and in fact are quite prepared to allow it to get worse. And that is because addiction is not something the laissez-faire hypocrisy of Canadian culture has wanted to cure. It's something that it has wanted to turn into an industry, right? Economy, to benefit the economy. So, that makes, the services to addicts get worse. It makes the services to mental health get worse. It makes the doctors that should be sued a lot more think it's okay, the government's on their side, incompetence and not caring about other people is okay, right? So, and of course, it destroys a proto-society and a culture, not just in the long term, like after you're dead. I'm talking about right now. Like, you can see a decline in people's ability to use their minds, and you can see that it's very hard to tell the difference between the clients and the staff. Because if the staff, let's say, are users of what was inappropriate 2 generations ago, and their clients are heavier users and they fall, and, if only they can do drugs in a safe way, we'd be such a wonderful species compared to the other ones on the planet. It's kind of ridiculous kind of thinking. There's nothing to strive for when it comes to human standards based on the role modeling of these workers. And they facilitate drug addiction more than attempt to cure by role modeling healthy lives, which is what I was expected to do, even though I'd never had problems with addiction, when I worked for Salt and Lamb Society. Now, this vlog, if my battery doesn't fail, is about people, let's say, that go study something and get into a lot of debt, let's say, to become part of the solutions. Let's say what's wrong with the education system, the medical system, mental health, in the field of industries of addictions, or including consumerism and phone technology that is making us more brain dead. And so if somebody studies in this, and Canada is not a country that is pro-education or pro-science, then I don't think it's okay that if they have student loans and they find work where they cannot succeed at, they were dreaming if they thought they could, somehow as a minority overwhelm the majority now in these industries and fix things. It's a form of mental illness, just believing that. It's like you're missing a lot of data to think that's an okay belief. But if they still want to give it a go, then I think Canadian society is extremely shameful to both expect them to pay back student loans and deduct taxes from their paychecks, or union fees when the unions are part of the problem as well. So if you don't realize how failed you are as a proto-society in Canada and how horrible you are to your young people in ways that, well, you need to have a human operating system to notice this kind of human trafficking of your own young generation that you keep bringing into the world, and claiming that a job that will kill your health and will never result in the betterment of the proto-society that you're in, while the elites benefit from this, is very, very shameful. So isn't it horrible that I already declared the United States of America a terrorist state, and I've started looking for work and education there because they are more capable of accountability, although sometimes it's a punch in the face to somebody that deserves it, and that's not my style, but they are more capable of problem solving in an intense way than Canada. So that means some areas of the United States, although it's very different, may now be able to do what a human would do in education noticing these problems. They would say, hey, if somebody wants to go on probation and demonstrate their skill sets and results are measurable with the learners, we will give them a certification of teacher or EC or whatever. If I find a place like this in the States which is so far from the possibility that results matter, and therefore every child matters, means something, then I will move to a terrorist state to make a difference in the world. And will I pay taxes in Canada for this? No, because I've been asking the Canada Revenue Agency for years to audit my file. Not only because they owe me money, but also because they have done fraudulent and criminal behaviors. And yet they ignore me, even though I post these vlogs that I send to their ministers by email as a link.